This is my favorite sourdough bread recipe. You can add whatever toppings you'd like. Today I'm gonna show you how I made it with olives and sun-dried tomatoes. All you need for this recipe is flour, water, salt, some sourdough starter, and some toppings of your choosing. I chose green olives and sun-dried tomatoes. Combine all of your ingredients in a large mixing bowl until they all come together. It's okay if the dough doesn't look smooth at this point. This is how it has to be. It's okay if the dough looks a little bit shaggy. It'll be fixed when we do our stretch and folds. After 1 hour at the room temp, we can finally add our toppings. I added some sun-dried tomatoes and olives. To mix our toppings into the dough, we are going to do stretch and folds. To stretch and fold, you just take the edge of your dough, stretch it, and stick it onto it. Spin the bowl and do the same thing over and over again for about 5 to 6 times. After the first set of stretch and folds, cover your dough and let it rest for about 45 minutes. For the next set of stretch and folds, I'm going to do a coil fold, which is another stretching fold method. You can choose whatever you like the best. I did only 3 sets of stretch and folds, but if you really want to, you can do up to 4, but it's okay if you only can do 2 or 3. Bulk fermentation is something I can't really give you a timing on. You just have to check in on your dough. It has to be doubled in size, jiggly, and when it looks right, it's ready to shape. I left mine on a counter for about 6 more hours after the stretch and folds. So in total, it spent 9 hours at the room temperature, and then I had to shape it. And then I left it in the fridge to cold proof overnight. In the morning, I took my loaf out of the fridge to score and bake it. While I'm scoring my bread, the oven is preheating with a glass dish inside. If you have a Dutch oven, you should totally use it. I don't have one, so I'm using a glass dish with a lid. When I'm done scoring my bread, I take the preheated glass dish out of the oven, put my bread inside, put the lid on top and bake it for 20 minutes with the lid on. After 20 minutes, I take off the lid, lower the temperature and let it bake for another 20. The bread is finally done. Please let it cool for at least 1 hour before cutting into it, and enjoy!